Aren't you jealous that I got a Tootsie Roll and you got a Hershey bar? Everyone knows that Tootsie Rolls are so much better. No way, Brock. Hershey's bars are so much better. Well, during the Great Depression, people bought Tootsie Pops because they were so cheap. Well, they were so cheap because they were so bad. Besides, in World War II, Hershey used ration survival bars for military use. Let's make a bet. I bet you can't prove that Tootsie Industries is a better company than Hershey's. Silly George, it takes time to see how a company develops. I'll tell you what, in 40 years we'll come back to this argument and see whose company looks more profitable for the future. That is, if Tootsie is still around in 40 years, do you think they will do? Yes, they will. Live from New York is Saturday night!
Welcome to Saturday Night Live, everyone. I'm your host, Ren. We have a very special episode in store for all of you tonight, as we'll be using our comedic sketches to analyze which chocolate company is the better one, Hershey or Tootsie Roll. Not that I care about it, but the producer is mandating some background information on the candy industry, so they'll now be taking me off the air for a few sad seconds while you attempt to learn something.
The confectionery industry is broken up into two subgroups, the first being a high-quality, high-price group, the second being a low-quality, low-price group. In the high-end group, we have companies such as Godiva and Lindt, which are always trying to outdo each other with better products. The lower-end group contains Hershey and Tootsie, as well as other companies such as Mars and Nestle. While companies like Tootsie continue to position themselves as a low-quality, low-price product, the Hershey company is looking to reposition themselves by entering a medium-quality, medium-price market. They want to compete with companies such as Cadbury and Rocky Mountain Chocolate. Industry rivalry is very high because of the well-established chocolate companies like Mars, Hershey, and Tootsie Roll. Because of these large companies, there are high barriers to enter the market. It is very capital-intensive to build a big factory or to produce as much chocolate as these large companies do. Both Hershey and Tootsie Roll have a wide range of suppliers coming from dozens of countries. Suppliers have little control over these large corporations. Tootsie's customers seem to have more control over the company because of a large percent of revenue coming from a select group of customers like Walmart. Hershey has high customer loyalty and wide availability. This leads to a broader customer base that does not have so much control over the company's revenues. Substitutes for the candy industry include many different healthy alternatives such as fruit, pretzels, granola bars, and other snack food.
I'm glad everyone is now so much more knowledgeable about the candy industry. Alright everyone, enjoy the show and I'll see you at the end. Alright, we need to settle this right now before class starts. Who's got the better OM and strategy, Tootsie or Hershey?
Hershey is known for famous candies such as Hershey bars, Kisses, Reese's, Kit Kats, Twizzlers, and more. Tootsie is known for Tootsie Rolls, Tootsie Pops, Dots, Junior Mints, and other candies. Both companies' products can be found around the globe. Tootsie, however, is more focused on America, but still sold their products to distributors worldwide. However, it's on a much smaller scale than Hershey's.
Both Hershey's and Tootsie Roll buy their cocoa and other ingredients from cocoa farmers in Africa and Latin America. They're transferred to each company by ships over a course of a week or two, and then transported by truck to manufacturing facilities within a matter of days. Hershey's then produces their candies in Pennsylvania, and Tootsie Roll produces chocolates in their factory in Chicago. Both companies make a special effort to support their farmers and economic growth.
You grow my cocoa into the land, then they turn it into a giant chocolate river in my factory where the fat directly got sucked up. Because they love me so much. So they overthrew Willy Wonka and made me their owner instead of Charlie.
What about management structures? That's definitely going to be asked if we don't say it.
Tootie's has a very hand-down, decentralized management structure, so they quickly react to new issues as they arise, while Hershey's has a very traditional, centralized structure, mainly due to it being such a large corporation.
Well, I'm completely in control of my company, so I always respond to things really quickly, like when the girl got turned into a giant blueberry, or when Kate got shrunk down to the size of a candy bar. I always respond to things really, really quickly, so I'm clearly just a little bit more control than Hershey's or Tootsie Roll are.
I don't know about you guys, but this waitress is freaking me out a little bit.
I'm really good at freaking people out. In high school, I won the most for the keyboard.
What about web presence? That's pretty important also.
Well, Tootsie has a very unintuitive website. It's very difficult to navigate. You can't even buy their products from their website. Hershey's website, on the other hand, is a lot easier to navigate. You can easily find where to buy their candies. However, both companies' products are easily found on online retailers such as Amazon. As for Facebook, Tootsie has nearly no presence, while Hershey has a huge presence.
Well, I have a Facebook page too, only I have a lot more fans than Hershey or Tootsie does. I have like 6 billion fans because the world loves me, like, a lot.
That sort of sucks. Let's get out of here.
I would teach on a photo factory.
Welcome to the Weekend Update. I'm Seth Myers.
I'm Amy Pollard. With Hershey dominating the product line compared to Tootsie, people all over the world can't get the jingles out of their heads. Here's a clip from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Chrysler car. Football cream. It's got to rhyme with peace. Fancy feast. Break me off a piece of that fancy feast.
Apparently, this man didn't have a childhood, as the correct answer, my friends, is Kit Kat bar.
Anyways, Hershey's television presence and sponsorships completely outweigh Tootsie's efforts. Hershey has consistently sponsored big events such as the NCAA basketball tournament. However, Tootsie's at minimal promotion only runs TV ads on children's channels.
Bringing families together, Hershey Park has been around since 1912. It promotes Hershey's products throughout the park and provides entertainment and rides for all ages.
Looking for a new movie snack? A study says that the #1 selling candy at theaters are Junior Mints, a Tootsie industry-produced candy. However, Hershey candy bars dominate the vending machines across America and are advertised heavily on television. Both companies sell their products in grocery stores, mass merchandisers, warehouse clubs, dollar stores, and drug chains.
The Hershey Company has announced a new line of high-quality chocolates in order to realign themselves within the chocolate industry.
Before we move on, Amy, I must say, my friend Rick had a great time with you last night.
Aw, thank you for telling me that, Seth. Maybe one day you'll get just as lucky as he did. No, there's no right way to eat Reese's. There are just so many combinations.
Moving on, Hershey's product line not only dominates the chocolate industry, but also includes a variety of other candies such as Twizzlers and Jolly Ranchers. Tootsie Roll Industries' product line is not as wide as Hershey's, although they do dominate the lollipop market.
Because of their specialty chocolates, Hershey's price varies from 85 cents per candy bar to $23 and beyond for special gift boxes. On the other hand, Tootsie focuses on cheaper, lower quality candies. For example, a foot-long Tootsie Roll only costs $1.
Well, it seems like Hershey clearly dominates the marketing aspect of things. That's all for tonight. Thanks for joining us on Weekend Update. Everybody, see you all next week.
Welcome to the 2012 presidential debate. Please welcome our candidates. The President of the United States, Barack Obama, former President of the United States, George W. Bush. Now, Mr. Bush, you are aware that you actually cannot run for a third term in office?
Well, Mr. Bernal, they misunderestimated me, and I'm back for a third round.
Today's primary focus is the financial position between the Hershey's company and the Tootsie Roll Industries. As you all know, Mr. Obama will be representing Tootsie Roll, and Mr. Bush will be representing Hershey's. Our first question comes from Joe the Plumber from Red Willow, Nebraska.
Hey, Joe the Plumber here. Can you please go over key points on your respective income statements?
Well, that's an excellent question, Joe.
As you can see from this chart, Tootsie's revenue has been consistent in the past 3 years. They've also seen a decrease in operating expense and net income. This can be attributed to increase in cost of goods sold as a result of their increase in transportation and food costs.
Mr. Bush, same question.
Hershey's been seeing an increase in revenue the last 3 years. This was caused by their new line, Hershey Bliss, as well as increases in their international businesses, particularly in India and China. Unlike Tootsie, Hershey's cost of goods sold as a percent of total revenue decreased from 2007 to 2008, with the dollar amount increased. This higher dollar cost was primarily associated with higher input and energy costs.
Our next question comes from...
Hey, Joe Plumber again. How are your company's positioned for the future in terms of debt?
Hershey's long-term debt has increased over the last 3 years, especially as a percentage of total assets. Their interest expenses decreased from 2007 to 2008 and are only a small percentage of total revenue. While Hershey saw a decrease in their current ratio in 2007, there was a major increase in 2008, and now their assets cover their liabilities. On the other hand, their quick ratio has seen a decrease in the past 3 years. This is caused by their increased productivity in their factories, which has caused an increase in inventory. Their debt ratio has remained constant the last 3 years, but their debt-to-equity ratio has seen increases in the last 3 years. This shows that Hershey is taking risks in order to see future growth.
Tootsie is taking a low-risk approach when it comes to debt.
Their current and quick ratios are above the industry average because Tootsie's assets outweigh their liabilities.
Because their debt is so tiny, their debt and debt-equity ratio are also very small. Tootsie is taking a different approach than Hershey. They are not positioning themselves for the future through debt because they do not want to build up their liabilities.
Our next question comes from Joe the Plumber.
Hey, I'm not done yet. I'm looking to invest in the stock market. Can you please give a stock evaluation for each of your companies?
Over the last 5 years, Tootsie has been performing worse than the S&P 500. Since the recession started in the fall of 2008, Tootsie has relatively followed the trend of the S&P, but still overall doing worse. Tootsie gives out quarterly dividends with an annual yield of 1.35%.
Over the last 5 years, Hershey has seen major fluctuations in their stock price. Their stock price had a major increase in 2004 and 2005, primarily because of the strength of the market. There was a slight decline in their stock price during 2007, but then flattened out in 2008. Despite the recession, Hershey's stock price now outperforms the S&P 500. Hershey gives out quarterly dividends, but at a much higher annual yield than Tootsie, at 3.25%.
Congratulations, Mr. Bush. It looks like Hershey's won this one.
Oh, that's all for the lightning round for today. Thanks for calling in, Noah, but I gotta go pick up the Oompa Loompa for my son's birthday party. Ski Daddy! Thanks for joining us on Saturday Night Live, everyone. Tune in next week with host Bernie Madoff. Wait, too soon?